There we go. Oh yes, it's working. Oh, thank goodness for that. Okay, well, welcome back. Here we are again. There's been a slightly longer break than I was expecting, all down to this. Normally, I wouldn't spend less than £10 on a bottle of wine. May go down to 9, possibly even 8. But £10 is the rule, with the notable exception of this product here, Retsina. It's a cheap, and some might say nasty, Greek wine, and but for me, it hits the nail right on the head. It's rough, and it's powerful, and it's got taste and body. If I were to, and I do, I'm one of these people who, when I pack up camp each morning, I tend to like to taste the earth that I've been sleeping on or near, and very often, if I'm in a deciduous or pine wood, it'll taste like this. This is what reminds me of the great outdoors. If I were to lick a tree that's covered in moss, I would expect to taste something like this. And it's marvellous. I love it. Anyway, enough of that. As you can see, I like it very much. It's empty, and so goodness knows how this session's going to pan out. Do forgive me if it all goes slightly wrong. I mean, for goodness sakes, we've got the terrible trio out to nobble me, and I'm not helping myself, am I, by becoming a bit pie-eyed, let's say. Anyway, right, I'm here to answer some questions. There's quite a few questions, aren't there? I'm sure you've all gone and checked out Alice Glass's Peach Perfect to see the questions she's been asked, and make sure that I'm asking the same questions of myself. We've only done about 4 questions so far, if that, so we better crack straight on. I've got something to show you as well. There's I do have like a sponsor, and that sponsor needs to be mentioned, and its product needs to be endorsed during this session and subsequent sessions as well. There's various products, all to do with all very what's the word? I keep losing words. To do with today's environment, that is to say, the COVID-19, the dreaded lockdown, and all the rest of it. We've got a cure for all of that. So bear with me, and I'll show you all about that, and all your troubles will be over. Anyway, the question next that that I'm notionally being asked is, what are my thoughts of hair down there? Right, okay. For me, that's not really relevant. As I've said, most of these questions, if not all of them, seem totally irrelevant. But for Alex Glass, I think this is actually quite a relevant question, just by chance. These random questions have hit the mark, and you can imagine the young lady walking around in a bikini with a great escape going on outside of the small pieces of material. A great escape of hair, and it doesn't look right, does it? If you've got clean skinned legs, to suddenly have what appears to be a rush of spiders all running out from beneath her groin, it kind of looks a bit wrong. So she, like myself, is a fan of the shaved pudenda, and but that's not to say that I've got anything against. In fact, I'm a fan of also the hirsute body. I love it, and if I could run around with this glossy and thick, long black hair all over my body, like the gorillas in the Misty Mountains, or whatever that film was called, I'd be a happy person. Can you imagine? And I want you to try and imagine, as if I could stop you trying to imagine, me turning up in my tight Speedos at the swimming pool, where I do a little part-time job sometimes, if I can be bothered, or possibly as a member of the swimming public. Well, I wouldn't be a member of the swimming public, but I'd be a swimmer, Yes, in my tight Speedos, covered in hair from top to toe. What a lovely sight that would be. And just like the gorillas, who, let's face it, have the most marvellous musculature, just like me. And that's not diminished by the amount of hair that's on their bodies. In fact, I would say it's probably even enhanced. So, all lovely. I'm a fan. Hairy balls, hairy arse, hairy bush, all absolutely marvellous to me. No less marvellous than the shaved pudenda. I just like it all. I think, human bodies, however they're treated and however they're manicured or not, it's just lovely. She, on the other hand, Alex, abhors hair, and her husband, on pain of death, I expect, or excommunication, must be shaved, just like she shaves her own hairy arse, and she exhorts her viewing public, to shave as well. She says, I think, we've no business watching her programme, her videos, if we attend the viewings unshaved. And when someone's got as lovely a derriere as Alex has got, it's very, very difficult. One tends not to want to disagree with her or have any, issue with what she has to say. So, I think that's probably all we've got to say on that one. So it's a fairly ambiguous answer, I'm afraid. It's not a coming down on one side or the other, but that's the way things are quite often. I'm going to answer one more question, then we'll get on with the endorsement, and then we can see how much time we've got left after that. Uncomfortable. Yes, it's just a crib note I've got here. It says uncomfortable. It goes back to, I think, the original question about, are you single? And if the answer was no, then the next question would have been, as it was, is your partner uncomfortable with what you do? She says that her partner is not uncomfortable, in fact, is very happy with what she does, and has got no jealousies or concerns about her showing off bikinis and G-strings to her viewing public. I, on the other hand, my partner, she tries to keep it to herself and tries to keep calm about it and not get too upset about it. But she's very concerned, obviously, and you can understand why. I mean, I only in here five minutes. I may have taken myself over to the corner, which I've probably mentioned before, and there's a knock on the door. Sometimes the door just slides open, and in comes very innocent, usually, individual, and before we've even had time to be introduced, he or she is taking the clothes off, and I'm being asked, I'm being offered money sometimes to accept them as my muse, and not all of them innocent looking, some of them are quite knowing, but yes, quite a situation. Obviously, I don't like to offend. If they have to take their clothes off, then let them. Very often I'm not even doing that. I may have just been, I may not be even carving naked human bodies at the time, but it all helps reference, doesn't it? I can sketch them maybe, and anyway. Likewise, the horses, they're meant to go directly from the stables over there, straight into the exercise fields, but I've noticed they loiter much longer outside my doors, particularly when it's open, than is strictly necessary, and it's no mystery to me why, but obviously I resist these temptations. I am an artiste and I have work to be done. I can't be going to being distracted left, right and centre by these things. So in answer to your question, yes, of course, my partner, my present partner anyway, is most concerned. She has no need to be. I'm not one to go wandering off here, there and everywhere. As I say, I don't have the time. But anyway, let's get on to the product. Right. The sponsor is McAllister Hood and the Auditorium Cave, and we here are at the cutting edge of innovation and all things contemporary, as well as all things classical. And when we see the nation in crisis, We respond. You know, we don't just sit there and go, yeah, whatever, and listen to the government to flounder and wait for the government to finish floundering around. We go out and we develop products that help you, the masses. And because you're incapable and you look to people like me to do something. Obviously producing art is probably the best thing you can ask anyone to do, because we all know that art is the most important, particularly figurative stone sculpture, is the most important of all of human activities. And so long as you know that's going on, then that gives you succour and the will to live. But you need more than that, you know. As in prayer, you can't just pray. You've got to have something. You've got to do something as well. And we have produced this. Now, do you know what that is? You won't have seen it before because it's exclusive and it's only just coming out on the market now. This is full of what we've called here at Auditorium Cave genius dust. We have done extensive research into why it is that not one single sculptor of high repute has died from COVID-19. And we've learned that it's the dust produced when the sculptor is sculpting stone. Now we've noticed that contemporary artists, doesn't work with them because they're basically rubbish. But if you're producing a masterpiece, then the dust that's produced from that work has healing and protective qualities. This dust and the granules, you can grind it up yourself even more if you wish. There's plenty of dust in there, but you can grind those granules up even more. And it covers the forearms as we're working, and it also lines the lungs and the trachea, and that gives us protection from all known viruses. And we strongly suspect, bearing in mind how old I am, we'll go on to that as one of the questions, that it's also got life-prolonging qualities too. There's speculation out there that I may never die because of the standard of work I'm producing, therefore the genius dust that's being produced from that, which I'm, absorbing and breathing in. You know, it's got the Auditorium Cave logo on there. It's the cupule and meander on a turquoise background. And that's the sign of Auditorium Cave. Might explain that before. So £150 a bottle. That's a snip. For possible never-ending life and certainly protection from COVID-19 and that wretched coronavirus. I think it's a good investment. So there you go. So that's the message from the sponsor. There's the product. Remember, you heard it here first, and it's on sale through the McAllister Hood website. Just look up McAllister Hood and check out the stone carver's website. Okay, I think you haven't got any more time. Yeah, it's coming up to 14 minutes. So I'm going to stop there. I'm going to go on to more questions next time, and I think I'll have a clearer head next time. I'm going to give it half an hour, maybe have a snooze, and then we'll get back to you later on. But don't be shy, come and buy. Okay, see you soon. Bye-bye.